A goal line play in football is brutal. And you might have, in any given game, you might have, on average, let's say 2 or 3 goal line situations in a regular game. See, the reason why goal line is so exhausting and such a brutal series of plays is that 10 of 11 players, you could even say 11, but we'll say 10 of 11 players on each side are involved in a goal line play, and it's basically hitting and shoving and pushing and hitting and pushing and pushing. The idiotic and dangerous way that college overtime is settled really turns into, it's nothing more than this, and this is what the Georgia Tech game turned into. It's a battle of goal line offense versus goal line defense, and Georgia just went through. Whoever played the game, again, doesn't really matter. I just think I'm using this as an example to tell you how stupid this system is and what little concern anybody has for player safety. Okay? But Georgia just went through 60 to 80 extra goal line snaps. That's what the stupid system created. Okay? That's advantage Texas in a big way. I would say that's advantage anyone they play in a big way. And I've criticized the overtime long before this Georgia fiasco took place. 8 overtimes is a disaster. It's not entertaining. It's not. And the point of 8 overtimes is what again? So remember this the next time, and I don't do it much in college football. They try to say this more in the NFL, but remember this situation the next time anybody mentions player safety. The NFL doesn't do it this way, right? You're not flipping out about that. The college sport has created a system of having the most dangerous snap from scrimmage to decide a game. The only play, other than doing goal line offense and defense over and over and over again, the only play more dangerous is an onside kick. And I realize most of you are just fans and you don't give a flip about the safety. I think it's just a stupid way to settle a game. And I think the fact that it went this far is outrageous. There's no reason for it. There's really not. So you're thinking, well, what's a better way? I'll argue this with you. Let me tell you a very simple way to do this that's not so asinine. And that is you adopt the NFL overtime policy rules exactly. Okay? Just do it exactly like that. The NFL overtime has a time limit. And if the teams are tied at the end of that, you know what they said? The game ends in a tie. So what? So what? I mean, even if they keep the current stupid system of snapping at the 25, then alternating, then blah, 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 then putting it at the 3, which is what they do, which turns the game into a series of goal line offense versus goal line defense over and over and over again. It's not a test of your football skills. It's not a measurement of a team because you've taken the entire field and reduced it down to a goal line offense versus goal line defense. And they've done it 8 times. And it's dangerous. It's silly. It's outrageous. And I don't think it's a good way to settle a game. In the NFL, if you're tied at the end of that period, those periods, then you end in a tie and you move on. And nobody's really complaining about that. Not doing it that way. So even if they want to keep this stupid system that's in place now, which I think they will, because apparently adapting or changing rules or any of that stuff is just impossible for college football to do. But even if they want to keep it this way, you should set a limit on the number of snaps each team can have. And that's it. Then it ends in a tie. So what? So what? Don't let any coach, any administrator, anybody anywhere talk about player safety and then somehow justify a game that goes to 8 overtimes. Don't want to hear it. Overreaction. The Dallas Cowboys are irrelevant. I didn't say the Dallas Cowboys are good. I didn't say the Dallas Cowboys are horrific. I said the overreaction is the Dallas Cowboys are irrelevant because the data says they're somehow, some way, they're very relevant. Here's the reality. They may not be very good. They're not. They may be missing their star quarterback. They are. But they're still the best draw on television. And it's not even close. The evidence says this. Either 2 things are in play. Either the Cowboys are still must-see on TV, and it may be a combination of these two things. The Cowboys are a must-see on TV, or everyone just wants to tune out their relatives. You just wanted to nap and drool on yourself. Either or, their record numbers. To watch bad football. The Cowboys suck, and the Giants really suck. They give football a new definition. They're so bad. This is pretty amazing, as usual. Yahoo Sports reporting the Cowboys game against the Giants on Thanksgiving Day featured a 4-7 team with its backup quarterback playing a 2-9 team with its third-string quarterback. The game on Thursday drew an average of 38.5 million viewers, making it the most watched game on any network of the regular season. And there's been some pretty epic games, right? That's the backup quarterback of one team, the third quarterback on another, of teams that are going nowhere fast. And it drew 41 million people at its peak. Now, if you argue with me and say, well, that's just because it's Thanksgiving, I get that that's part of it. But if you go back and look at the 10 highest rated regular season games in the NFL over the past 20 years, most of the time it's going to involve Dallas, no matter how bad or good they really are. That's a remarkable number. It's huge. Now, I'll ask a weird question that's completely different to that. That's just proving that no matter what, they're not irrelevant. They're still a draw. But I'm starting to wonder, can they get to 9 wins? I'm not being crazy. Could Dallas, it's going to take some work, could Dallas get to 9 wins?